Hey everybody, back with another video and continuing Manic Monkey Monday. Um, the first one we did was She Hangs Out from um, two different versions. One was the original single version that was the B-side to A Little Bit Me, A Little Bit You, and that was briefly released in Canada. And it was very quickly withdrawn. The Monkees ended up re-recording the song for their fourth album, Pisces Aquarius Capricorn Jones Limited, as the more familiar one that you are probably aware of. Continuing that trend, we're doing another song that was previously recorded under the Don Kirshner regime and then was revisited by the band much later after they had broken away from Kirshner. And the song ended up being one of their most successful singles. And I think their last, I'm not top, I think it was their last top 10 single. Actually, they actually hit the US. The song is Valleri. And there are two versions of the song that I'm aware of. There's the original version that was done for the TV show, and is featured in the episode Captain Crocodile, with comedian Joey Foreman playing, you know, you know, a kid show host. And they booked the Monkees to play on his show, and he does not want them to play. He's afraid they'll just take away all the attention from him, so he does everything that he can to sabotage them on his own show. So, particularly with this video clip right here, the video is from the TV show, and it's actually the video was brought out by Me TV as part of their promotion for the Monkees. So, but the song was written by Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart, and peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and spent 2 weeks at number 1 on the Cashbox chart in early 1968, when it was re-recorded for the Monkees' fifth studio album called The Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees. It also reached number 1 in Canada and number 12 in the UK. Without getting into too much more of the drama involving it, let's just get to the song. Huh? I'll elaborate later. Sorry. Headphones. And here's Valleri. If I can just get, there we go. Okay, that was the Monkees' first version of Valleri, and it was used on this episode of the Monkees called Captain Crocodile. Again, just like She Hangs Out, it was a product of the Kirshner era, and it was revisited by the band, after he left. And we'll have more on that as soon as I can call up the other one. So bear with me. This will be a couple of seconds. Now, Screen Gems president and music supervisor Don Kirshner asked Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart if they had any girl name songs to be used in the Monkees TV show. After claiming they had a finished song, Boyce and Hart improvised Valleri on their way to Kirshner's office. Kirshner was pleased with their work, and Valleri was recorded with Boyce and Hart producing the original sessions in 1966. The original recording included instrumental backing by the Candy Store Prophets. Wrecking Crew session musician Louis Sheldon contributed the flamenco-style guitar solo consisting of hammer-ons and pull-offs. The song was featured in the television show's first season in 1967, like I said, particularly in the episode Captain Crocodile. A stage performance showed Michael Nesmith apparently picking Sheldon's guitar solo via cuts between Nesmith with his hands obscured and close-ups of hands playing the solo. While the first version of Valleri went unreleased, a few off-air recordings received radio airplay, and when some DJs recorded the song from the television and later surfaced on bootleg recordings. By late 1967, Cole Jones was looking for a follow-up single to Daydream Believer. By this time, Kirshner and his crew were out. And Lesser Still reportedly told Bobby Hart, "We all know that Valleri is a smash, and I need a hit single bad." According to Hart, the original 1966 track could not be used because the union contracts had already been filed with Boyce and Hart listed as producers. And the Monkees' contracts stipulated that all future recordings would show produced by the Monkees on the label. This was for the album The Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees in 1968. Boyce and Hart were approached about coming back to produce a new version of the track. Hart said Coltrne's president, Lester Sill, came back to us and said, "They want you to recut Valleri. You can't have producer's credit, but we want you to go back in and do it again, making it sound as close to the original as possible." The new recording was produced by Boyce and Hart on December 26, 1967. When Still heard the track, he felt that something more was needed, and a brass section was overdubbed on December 28th. The remade Valleri was released on February 17, 1968 in the United States, and the song reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on the Cashbox Singles Chart. The single was the band's last American top 10 hit. Their last to receive a push from their television series, and the last to be certified gold. As I said, the song was featured on the band's 5th album, The Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees, released in April 1968. The follow-up single, D.W. Washburn, was not featured on the show and only reached number 19 on the pop charts. So, without further ado, let's do the second version of Valleri.
same little girl who used to hang around my door. But she sure looks different than the way she looked before. I call her
And that was their second version, and perhaps the best known version of the Monkees' last top 10 single, Valleri, written by Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart. And that's going to be it for this particular video. We got one more coming up, and so stay tuned. So until then, peace out, guys.